When you scan a creature, you should be able to see its biological data. Try scanning the fish over there.
You may not think I'm attractive, but your wife will. Grrr.
Levels like a true gaming fiend. She's got the skill, she's got the moves. She's the queen of the virtual scene. Gaming chick, oh wow. She's a gaming chick, ruling the gaming world with every click. Oh wow. She's the one to beat. She'll never back down or take defeat. Gaming chick.
Hello once again, all my chickadees. Game & Chick is back once again with another review. Before we get started, I want to give a big thank you to the folks over at Nintendo for providing me a review copy to make this review possible. Thank you so much. So now with that said, let's get on to it.
Hey, you want fun? Mario'll show you fun.
Endless Ocean Luminous is the latest entry into this relaxing vibe of a franchise, and it is developed by Akira and published by Nintendo. With this finally being the newest entry into the franchise after 15 years of absence, Akira and Nintendo decide that it's time to vibe again and bring the relaxing swimming exploration title to life once more. But was this the right IP to revive from the dead after the Wii era? Or is this a case of a fish out of water? Only one way to find out, so let's dive! Story. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Gameplay. Endless Ocean has been on a super long hiatus, with the latest entry of the franchise coming out like 15 years ago. Much like another favorite franchise of mine, Punch-Out! Seriously, Nintendo, come on! Punch-Out on Wii was so dang good! Please give me another game of the series before I die. And if you do, I'll join the Nintendo fan club today! My whining about wanting a new Punch-Out game aside, Nintendo is now inviting us sea dwellers another dive beneath the surface to explore the grand and vast ocean, to see the broad wonders of its ecosystem come alive before our very eyes. Even though it's taken 15 years to get Nintendo to give us another entry, us water divers and sea explorers haven't been without options in the meantime, with games such as Abzu, Subnautica, and even Beyond Blue offering us our escape from land and giving us fish expeditions that we've been missing out on due to Endless Ocean's absence. Now, while those games are all great in their own right, I've still just always had a soft spot for the Endless Ocean franchise. They're just my vibe game, and all about relaxation and fit in the category of my comfort zone level of game. Because no matter what day I have, a great one or a crappy one, Endless Ocean was just one of those games you can throw on for 30 minutes and just explore and discover. And again, that's why it's a vibe game to me. Does that same feeling hold up for this newest entry as well? Yes and no. It retains qualities that series lovers like myself thoroughly enjoy, but other times it ends up like a bad scratching moment, like you're just exploring the seas, minding your own business, and then Mr. Nimbus, who is king of the ocean, shows up and declares he's your mortal enemy and arch nemesis, just like in Rick and Morty. Yes, there are head-scratching things about Endless Ocean that is on another level of what the heck is even going on here? Although it's not as random as that time Rick and Morty invaded my advertisement for Unicorn Overload and made me chase them off set, completely ruining my ad. So I guess I should be thankful for that at least? But we're getting way off topic. Let's get back to the fishy fish, alright? Even though this title retains some good aspect of the previous games, by allowing players an opportunity to get fully immersed in the wonders of the sea, giving it that enchanting feeling of being under the sea like you're chilling with your bro Sebastian. The cartoon Disney version, not the abomination of the live-action version. We need crazy singing and dancing Sebastian in our lives, but he really shouldn't sing too loudly. Otherwise, in this universe of Endless Ocean Luminous, his girl Ariel about to be lunch for a gigantic predator. Bad Bruce! Fish are friends, not food! But then again, is she really a fish? You guys debate that. I'm getting back to the review. While the game can be very peaceful and relaxing, especially venturing off solo by yourself on an expedition, It can also be a bad thing too, giving you too much freedom of exploration to the point that the game can get off track a little during the storyline or outside of it by making this title feel a little lacking on the overall engagement portion of the game. Set in an enchanting veiled sea, this entry of Endless Ocean offers a more straight path narrative as far as exploratory experience goes, with everything more streamlined to the point of being a little bit on the tedious side. Literally the moment you boot up the game, you're pushed into Chapter 1's tutorial mode and get the rundown of your objective and how to play as you're introduced to your AI assistant companion named Sarah and another fellow diver with pro experience, Daniel. I mean, Nintendo, if you were that in need for a voice actor for an AI character, I could have done it. I have experience. I literally played an AI door before. That's literally the height of anyone's resume in the history of the world, so I definitely could have helped you all out with Sarah, but maybe another day.
Professor Hojo, welcome.
Ending his life on the spot.
Police failed to gather any useful security footage of the scene.
The plot in this game is fairly straightforward, and nothing really groundbreaking, with your main objective through the game involving you as the player to cure a mysterious disease that is killing and deteriorating the world coral, and if not stopped in time, will spread outside this small section of the ocean and in time kill off other ecosystems as well. Oh man, guess we better do something. We can't have that. I love the ocean. If only I had some help. No, go away, Aquaman. Go talk to a seahorse. If only I had something to use, like...
Wind, water, heart, go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Oh no, Captain Planet, you aren't my hero. And only I will take this pollution down to zero. The power is yours? You're dang right it is, so get out of here! As I was saying, if only I had something to use to help fight this disease. And what do you know? You actually do, duh! And it is in the form of gathering light through scanning the various sea creatures you come across. Being able to traverse the ocean floor and find rare objects and items to collect, while also being able to follow different marine life around their habitat, and snapshotting images of little teeny itty bitty minuscule fish friends to grand whales that look like they could get you in one big ol' bite if you venture too close. Luckily for myself and Marlin, who in my downtime I'm helping before I complete missions for Sarah, I too can speak whale should we get in danger.
Hello, whale. We come in peace.
Uh-oh, never mind. Run quick into the abandoned underground building. Look, here's something. Escape. Wow, it spelled just like the word escape. The relaxation and info capturing of each fish gives you a strong feeling of Pokemon capturing, mainly feeling like a full water version of the Pokemon Snap. And even though the underlying story is basically about the death of coral and marine life as a whole unless you stop it from happening, Luminous does still manage to contain a comfy, cozy experience in the same vein as the first two titles, and it's basically risk-free from failure from the ocean's inhabitants. That's right, no Marais evil to eat us this time. We'll leave that one up to Mario.
Hi.
Even though the picture I have painted so far has been one of relaxation and inner peace, basically due to how the ambiance carries this game, it can start falling a bit towards the tedious side due to narrative and story progression being heavily reliant on you scanning a specific amount of creatures before the game lets you move on with the campaign. This in turn means that you will have to grind your way to hit a specific amount of fish scanned, which, if you are lucky, it can take you 30 minutes to an hour to complete that objective. Why that time frame? Well, that's because to just get from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, you will need to scan 500 different fish before you are qualified to move on. Even though, yes, there is an ongoing continuous story and the very occasional mission that comes to you from headquarters, the vast majority of your time will be spent in solo play trying to scan hundreds of different species and getting more educated on them. I mean, you can always ignore snapping photos or scanning fish, of course, like me trying to ignore my anger for water levels in Mario on NES because I'm garbage at them. But then you're subject to just venturing alone in the good old sea of blue and just trying to complete objectives that require you to find random artifacts on the seafloor to turn in. but other than the tedium the game can bring, the game does feel at times like you're listening to an audio playback about the history of the species you scanned. Like we should bring in Attenborough to give us a nice relaxing documentary scene play-by-play. Now that would be awesome. Attenborough aside, there's still a couple more things to talk about that can either make the game for people to give them an enjoyable experience, or for other people, make them fall asleep due to the game's overall pacing. Endless Ocean Luminous at times can feel like a roguelite due to the dynamic map-making changes to each dive you make into the Blue Abyss, which ensures that every dive feels like a fresh new adventure that can require you to swim through new coral that wasn't there previously, brand new sea caves worth exploring to find new species of fish to scan, shipwrecks where you look to see if you can find Jack at the bottom of the ocean after Rose did him dirty by hogging all of the space on top of the wooden door just because she wanted to stretch her legs, etc., etc. Due to the nature of the game being more about exploration and discovery, the game can feel a tad bit boring if you're a player who wants to be able to kick or punch something in the face. Because if that's what you're looking for here in Luminous, then you're in the wrong place, my friend. That being said, even if you love this genre and what it offers you, it can still be seen as tedious if you play in sessions for like 2 to 3 hours straight, and this is due to the game's lack of overall variety between missions and objectives. To counteract people who love explorative titles getting bored, I'd recommend using this game as your own comfort level title that you can pick up and play in spurts of 30 to 40 minutes per session to get your fix, then come back again later, because the longer you play, the more redundant it might feel if you stick to scanning things only with no variation on doing anything else. Don't let it be like my constant use of Yamcha jokes. Don't let your vibe underwater become monotonous. Should you happen to not listen to me because I am a hardcore fan of Scuba Steve, then I implore you to check out this game's multiplayer mode called Shared Dives. This multiplayer feature allows you to join forces with 30 personal friends or 10 strangers by using your session ID and go on a sea adventure with them as you collaborate on story progression goals, as well as further enhance this tranquil underwater world. Complete with being able to customize your diverse suit with different colors, sticks, and even emotes to communicate with other players. It's not much, I admit, but it's definitely enough to change up the pace a bit, because swimming with friends after eating a meal and getting a cramp and nearly drowning is always a fun time. Overall, at the end of the day, Endless Ocean Luminous is a super chill, relaxed adventure, but marred a bit in repetitiveness that can leave certain players a bit off-put because of it. While the game can be a fun solo adventure with a big sea to explore, mysteries to find and uncover and collect, hundreds of species of fish to discover, and excelling at group activities with friends and strangers that gives you a feel of community and togetherness, even with great things, your overall time is hindered as well. With simplistic animations that leave much to the imagination, story that has a small presence overall to the game itself, with each chapter taking mere minutes to pass through in between having to grind out objectives to unlock them, limited gameplay variety, etc., etc. With both negatives and positives weighing against each other, I feel pros and cons, with Luminous both being a shallow game at its core, but also extremely soothing to play. In a nutshell, it's a very mixed bag, and one I can see anyone picking up and playing at any point in time for small sessions. But the real question is it worth the deep sea dive and take the plunge for this game? Yes and no. Yes if you're a fan of the previous 2 entries, or games like Beyond Blue, because you'll definitely end up liking it then. However, if you're only curious about this title and have never dabbled in the genre before, then you might be best waiting off until the game drops to around $30 or so to get the full bang for your buck, if I'm totally honest. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says buy now if you're a longtime fan of the genre, and wait if you're a newcomer.
Huh? My sensors are showing an increase in activity. Analyzing. I detect unusual biometric signs near.
Da 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 dun 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 dun.
Caught up in the whirlwind chasing highs, but underneath